Right now, the FBI is offering a reward for information on an arson attack at a pro-life group's headquarters last spring.
Also, more emotional testimony on the stand today as the murder trial of a former Badger enters its third day.
And later, the Wisconsin Assembly will let the people decide on an amendment that makes it harder for violent criminals to get out of jail on bail. Welcome to News 3 Now. 8 months after someone threw 2 Molotov cocktails into a pro-life clinic in Madison, feds hoping a cash incentive will lead to some answers.
The FBI, one of 3 agencies investigating the attack, is offering up to $25,000 for information leading to the conviction of whoever is responsible. Tahlil Modine spoke with leadership at Wisconsin Family Action and joins us now with an update. Tahlil?
Eric and Charlotte, Group President Jelaine Appling says after months of repairs, they're back at the office and things are starting to get back to normal. But still, she wants justice. She met with the FBI yesterday for the first time since her office was firebombed after the Bureau reached out with the detective from MPD assigned to the case. They didn't tell her anything new, but assured her they were working hard to get answers. The reward has her feeling more optimistic.
So I have to have a measure of trust on that. And I'm choosing right now, especially in light of what happened today, to say, okay, I'm going to assume that they are now going to get very aggressive on this.
The clinic beefed up security afterwards, particularly after Roe v. Wade was overturned. Appling says for a while, staff had armed security on hand, but they now rely on several office cameras and secure entrances to feel safe. Wisconsin Family Action is also offering their own reward of $5,000 for information leading to the conviction in the attack.
To mark the 50th anniversary of the Roe v. Wade Supreme Court decision, there will be a national march in protest to the overturning of Roe this Sunday. The National Women's March, Madison Abortion and Reproductive Rights Coalition for Healthcare are inviting all community members to join them for a march on the state capitol at noon.
Energizer says it plans to close down its plants in Portage and Fenimore in the next year or two, affecting nearly 600 workers. In a statement, the International Brotherhood of Teamsters said it is fighting the plans to close those facilities. Quote, if Energizer thinks it's going to outsource American jobs and destroy Wisconsin communities, we've got news for them. The Teamsters are coming, and we will stop at nothing to protect American workers, end quote. Meanwhile, Energizer shared a statement saying it is working to keep those affected updated on the process. Quote, we will continue to focus on our colleagues, the people closest to this issue, and who matter the most as we work toward a final resolution. Well, let's check your certified most accurate forecast. Here is Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary?
I'll still have a few flakes of snow falling in the backyard, but it's not really amounting to very much. Nothing sticking to the ground. In fact, the ground for the most part, at least the pavement, is just wet because temperatures have been above freezing. The time lapse from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville shows a fresh blanket of snow early this morning, but watch what happens to the pavement as time goes on. You can see how the snow kind of melts on the streets and on the parking lots, even though still some flakes of snow fell through parts of the day. But right now things are pretty quiet. Our snow vision snowfall estimates, generally about 1 to 3 inches of snow through much of southern Wisconsin, heavier amounts north and west of Wisconsin Dells, and also down to the east or to the southwest into parts of Iowa, about 3 to 6 inches of snow there. But high resolution radar shows the snow showers and flurries really winding down. 6-hour future track radar shows that the snow will probably come to an end or at least taper to flurries after midnight. Temperatures are still above freezing, 36 in Janesville, 34 in Madison. Only areas north of the Dells are below freezing. Across Dane County, still 34 degrees in Belleville and 35 in Cross Plains. Look for mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures dropping into the lower 30s by late evening. And again, a snow shower or flurry chance. Later on, I'll take a look at our chances for snow and colder temperatures as we head into next week.
Gary, thank you. It is day 3 in the murder trial of Marcus Randall L. He faces homicide and weapons-related charges in the shooting deaths of Brittany McAdory and Sierra Winchester.
The women were found shot near the interstate in Janesville back in February of 2020 and later died at a hospital. McAdory's vehicle was later found in Illinois, where Randall L. was spotted at a gas station with blood on his hands. Catherine Merck joins us live from the Rock County Courthouse in Janesville with the latest. Catherine?
It was a difficult day in court for friends and family of the 2 victims. As autopsy photos were shown in court, friends and family held each other tight and cried at the sight of just those images. The witnesses who took the stand, who knew the 2 victims, shared some of the last moments that they had with their friends before they died. The medical examiner explained some of those autopsy photos to the court, showing how Brittany McAdory and Sierra Winchester both died of gunshot wounds. One friend of Sierra Winchester said she remembered remembered hearing a phone conversation on speakerphone between Sierra Winchester and Marcus Randall L. She told the court how she felt like her friend was in a dangerous situation, referencing here her as Randall L as El Boogie here.
I heard was El Boogie was yelling at Sierra, cussing her out, and even threatening to kill her.
Later in her testimony, the state showed that same friend a picture of what she would later identify as Randall L inside a Chicago area gas station. Now, we told you at 5 o'clock, those gas station employees who testified earlier today were not able to identify the man who walked into their gas station with blood on his hands as Marcus Randall L. Reporting live in Janesville, I'm Catherine Merck for News 3 Now.
Catherine, thank you. And she will be there throughout the trial, bringing you live minute-by-minute updates on her Twitter page this week and next. Follow the Twitter handle at the bottom of your screen for the very latest.
A fourth person is facing charges for their involvement in the murder of U.S. Postal worker Andre Cross. 38-year-old Lakeisha Ducksworth is accused of providing false statements to law enforcement agents investigating the murder. An indictment alleges Ducksworth lied that her residential surveillance equipment was not working. She also allegedly lied about not sending video of Cross delivering mail to her residence to Charles Ducksworth Jr. Ducksworth Jr. and Kevin McCaw are accused of murdering or aiding and abetting the murder of Cross. They are being held in federal custody. If convicted, Lakeisha Ducksworth faces up to 5 years in prison.
Dane County Board's Black Caucus and Dane County Sheriff Calvin Barrett playing the blame game just ahead of a pivotal board meeting. Tonight, the board will vote on whether to put funding of the Dane County Jail project up to a referendum. The county jail consolidation project has been stalled now for years. It needs another $24 million to get going. Sheriff Barrett says some on the county board are intentionally stalling. Meanwhile, the Black Caucus is pointing the finger at Dane County Executive Joe Parisi for vetoing a plan the board approved back in November. They also took issue with how Sheriff Barrett characterized the problem.
Sheriff Barrett stood on stage with 3 white men and, in the finest tradition of Willie Lynch, attacked the integrity, the competence, and the fundamental intellect of his colleagues on the Dane County Board.
The Black Caucus says they'd like to see a smaller facility and criminal justice reforms aimed at lowering the jail population.
UW health experts say suicide-related hospital visits among children have increased dramatically within the past 3 years. In 2012, UW Health's pediatric emergency department saw roughly 15 patients a month. By 2022, that number had nearly tripled to more than 40 per month. Regardless of the cause behind a child's suicidal thoughts, UW Health's Dr. Shonda Wells says taking children seriously and asking legitimate questions to start a dialogue goes a long way.
If a kid is expressing that they are thinking about harming themselves, we should approach that with curiosity, ask questions, and not make judgments, and really try to find out what that was going on in that kid's mind.
If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health issues or considering suicide, there are resources available to help. Just call 988 to connect with the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. They are available 24/7.
And in the Capitol today, 2 votes in the State Assembly determined which policy questions will be on your ballot in April. Joining us live at the Capitol with a breakdown of the referendum, political reporter Will Keneally. Will?
So throughout the week, we've covered the binding constitutional amendment referendum that you will be able to vote on in April. That will set how judges are able to determine what bail is set for defendants. But Republicans pushed for an additional advisory referendum to hit that April ballot, and that will allow you to let politicians know what you are thinking.
If the governor will not listen to the law, perhaps he will listen to the voters of this state.
When you see this amendment on your April ballot, you will get to weigh in. The question whether childless, able-bodied adults should have to work to receive welfare in Wisconsin. It's actually in state law right now under reforms passed during the Walker administration. But Republicans want to put more pressure on the Evers administration.
Governor Evers is perfectly happy to not have that work requirement in place and have more people sit on the sidelines and ask the people who are working to put in overtime, spend time away from your families so that other people don't have to. It's not right.
Because it's in state law, the vote is non-binding. Essentially, it's a poll to tell legislators what Wisconsinites think. But if voters reject it, some Republicans want to revisit the work requirements.
I would agree that if it comes back flipped the other way, then I think rightfully we would have to reassess that.
Democrats said the vote today showed this, though.
The lack of honest leadership and governance by the electeds that they were sending to the state legislature to do the work of the people.
For their part, Democrats wanted to get an advisory referendum on the state's abortion ban on the April ballot instead. That proposal was quickly shot down by Republicans.
But our friends on the other side of the aisle would rather talk about any topic than this.
So, as we mentioned before, also clearing the assembly today was that binding constitutional amendment on bail reform. Now, that was initially written by Republicans, but today in the assembly, it had a bipartisan vote. 12 of the 35 assembly Democrats joined Republicans in supporting that measure, including from the Madison area, Representatives Lisa Subeck and Sheila Stubbs. Now, we reached out to both legislators after the vote just to check in with them on that bipartisan flip, but they were both not available immediately to answer our questions. Reporting from the Capitol, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
Will, thanks. And in Washington, the federal government this week took extraordinary measures to avoid hitting the debt ceiling. Those measures will last through early June. After that, the U.S. will default on its debt. But speaking in Madison today, Congressman Mark Pocan is confident the House of Representatives will not, quote, play chicken with the debt ceiling, as some Republicans have suggested doing.
I still think there's a decent chance that they'll do something dumb, even if it's for a couple days, but I also think there's some reasonable folks we'll be able to work with at the end of the day, and we have some tools to get that done no matter what Kevin McCarthy wants to do.
The House flipped to Republican control in the election, but Pocan said that there are still stopgap measures that members of Congress can use to avoid defaulting on the nation's debt if some Republicans push that debate. And coming up, the Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign fell short of its goal. You can still help them out.
Plus, the USDA increases regulations on organic products, what the new rules are meant to achieve.
Hey, I just got a text from my sister. You remember Rick, her neighbor?
Sure. He's the 76-year-old guy who still runs marathons, right?
Sadly, not anymore.
What? You mean...
Mm-hmm. Just like that.
Wow. So sudden. We're not about to have the we need life insurance conversation again, are we?
No, we're having the we're getting coverage so we don't have to worry about it conversation.
So you're calling about the $9.95 a month plan from Colonial Penn?
I am. We put it off long enough. We are getting that $9.95 plan today.
Is it time for you to call about the $9.95 plan? I'm Jonathan from Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company. Sometimes we just need a reminder not to take today for granted. It could be the death of someone you know or a health scare. That's why today could be a great day to call for free information about Colonial Penn's $9.95 plan. If you're age 50 to 85, you can get guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance starting at just $9.95 a month. There are no health questions, so you can't be turned down for any health reason. This is permanent coverage. Just pay your premiums for lifelong security. The $9.95 plan is Colonial Penn's #1 most popular whole life plan. Options start at just $9.95 a month. That's less than 35 cents a day. Your rate can never go up. It's locked in for life. Don't put it off. Take the first easy step. Call today for free information. And you'll also get this free beneficiary planner. So call now.
Call 1-800-290-3399 for your free information and free gift. That's 1-800-290-3399. There's no risk or obligation. That number again is 1-800-290-3399. 1-800-290-3399. Call now.
Hello, Colonial Penn?
Welcome back. The Salvation Army of Dane County says its Holiday Red Kettle campaign fell thousands of dollars short of its $500,000 goal. Officials there say the campaign collected more than $466,000. They blame the shortfall on the outbreaks of flu and RSV, as well as the extreme cold during the final days of the campaign. There are still opportunities for people to donate through a virtual fundraiser or check. You can head to this story on channel3000.com for more information.
With egg prices continuing to soar up 60%, according to government figures. Many people are now buying and raising their own chickens, but the CDC is warning people that your own backyard flock carries some health risks. Backyard poultry can have salmonella that spreads to other birds and also people. Chicken coops have been connected to over 1,000 people getting sick with salmonella over the past year. The CDC has listed on its website ways to keep people safe when raising chickens. U.S. Department of Agriculture increasing regulation of organic products. First time they've done that in more than 30 years. The new rules getting tougher on production, handling, and also sales. That means more on-site inspections and certification for organic imports, which means businesses will need to show the important parts of their supply chain that are organic. That rule will go into effect in late March, and then those affected will have 1 year to comply with the changes. Still ahead, if you plan on visiting Lake Geneva's ice castles, you're going to have to wait a little longer.
Also, new video of a pond rescue in Milwaukee from last month. The tense moments as first responders work to free a trapped woman from her car.
Plus, after getting some snow overnight, what can we expect heading to the weekend? Your complete forecast when we come back.
Ashley's $14 million sell-off is happening now. Millions of dollars worth of product arrived late to our warehouse and must be sold. This is your chance to save as much as 85% while it lasts. Plus, get 60 months special financing store-wide, only at Ashley.
This is how it feels to do more with less asthma, thanks to Dupixent. Dupixent is not for sudden breathing problems. It's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma and can help improve lung function for better breathing in as little as 2 weeks. Dupixent helps prevent asthma attacks and can even reduce or eliminate oral steroids. Imagine that. Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Who knows what you can do when you do more with less asthma? Ask your asthma specialist about Dupixent.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness. Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland. Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
At Lawton Cates, your life counts is more than just a slogan. Because around here, we're all about comebacks. Whether it's helping you recover after a car accident or return to the job following an injury, it's us fighting the odds and the insurance company to make sure you get the compensation you and your family deserve. No one loves a great comeback story more than Lawton Cates, which motivates us to fight for our clients every day. Your life counts. Lawton Cates. Call us today.
Furniture and Appliance Mart's $14 million sell-off is happening now. Millions of dollars worth of product arrived late and must be sold. Whirlpool microwaves now just $199. Amana washer and dryer pairs now just $9.99. At Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley off the Beltline in East Springs Drive.
Welcome back. Dramatic new body camera footage from December shows first responders acting quickly to save a woman from a partially submerged car. A sheriff's deputy is seen in the video helping as Milwaukee firefighters worked to free the woman who was sitting in water up to her chest. The video shows one firefighter breaking her side windows and opening the driver's side door, and then it shows them using a rope to wrap around her during the rescue. The temperature that night, negative 22 degrees with the wind chill.
The opening date for the Lake Geneva ice castles is being pushed back due to those warm temperatures. February 3rd at the earliest is the new target opening date. They're hopeful that cold temperatures ahead will allow them to finish building the experience in the next couple of weeks. Those who purchased tickets for January 27th through February 2nd have been notified and refunded. Drivers in Brown County were met with slippery roads for this morning commute. Officials say a bus carrying 27 kids slid into the ditch. The De Pere Fire Department says the bus crashed around 9 o'clock this morning. There were no injuries. Well, a lot of the snow by us is now slush. Let's check back in with Gary for a complete look at the forecast.
Yeah, temperatures have been just about freezing for much of the day. and so that snow has melted a lot on area roads and is pretty slushy elsewhere. It's a good packing snow, though. Some of the snowfall reports: La Crosse about 5.5 inches, Friendship and northern portions of Adams County about 4 inches. But as you headed toward the south and east, those amounts dropped off. You went from 3 inches in Markesan to just a little less than 1.5 inches here at the station. Other reports include Gaze Mills in Crawford County, 3.8 inches, Lodi, 2.5 inches, Platteville about 2 inches, and then Dubuque, Iowa, just shy of 2 inches. Officially, Dane County Regional Airport, 1.7 inches, but Milwaukee, only a trace. They had mainly rain from the precipitation. Now you can see on high-resolution Doppler radar just some flurries moving through southern Wisconsin. Still a little bit of rain in the Milwaukee area because temperatures are warm enough for at least a mix of rain and snow, if not just downright rain. But 6-hour future track radar shows the snow showers and flurries really starting to wind down as we head toward midnight. 3 things you need to know. Again, snow shower and flurry chances this evening. Temperatures are going to be near normal for perhaps about the next week to week and a half, and then as we head toward the end of next week, we'll see a little colder weather, but we'll also see some snow showers or flurries Saturday night and Sunday, and then again Tuesday night into Wednesday of next week. The high temperature trend: average high temperature is 27. Temperatures will be above normal for the first part of the period, and then right around normal as we head toward the latter part of next week. But the Climate Prediction Center new monthly and seasonal outlooks just came out today. This is for the month of February, calling for equal chances of above or below normal temperatures here in Madison. Warmer than normal weather expected to the south and east, colder than normal weather to the north and west, and usually that sets up a storm track in between. So usually precipitation is above normal in that part of the country, and that's exactly what they're expecting: above normal precipitation with the highest chances just to our south and east. For the end of winter and the early part of spring, the February, March, April outlook calling for above normal temperatures for the southern and eastern portion of the country, below normal temperatures to the north and west, and again above normal precipitation in our part of the country. The southwest should start to dry out again. As we check out Weather Track right now, we're getting just some very light precipitation. The more persistent snows have been shifting up to the north, and a little trough of low pressure will rotate through. Once that moves on through, that should put an end to the snow shower and flurry chances later on this evening. Across Dane County, low of 27 in Windsor, 28 in Waterloo, and 28 in Verona, with a few snow showers and flurries this evening. Across the rest of southern Wisconsin, 26 in Platteville, 27 for the low in Lone Rock. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, a little colder, high temperature at 30, but should be dry during the day. 7 to 10 day forecast: 28 Saturday, 30 on Sunday. Snow shower or flurry chance Saturday night into Sunday morning. Monday should be dry. Tuesday, a chance of light snow Tuesday night into Wednesday, and then temperatures turn colder toward the end of next week, back down into the lower 20s.
And coming up in sports, back for one final year. Which Badger announced he's returning to Camp Randall next season, and which one entered the portal? That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Wisconsin. It's easy to take for granted how we warm up. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? For many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
Find your style with Patriot Lighting ceiling fans from Menards. Choose from our huge selection of in-stock options. Patriot Lighting ceiling fans add elegance to any room and can help reduce your energy cost year-round. We carry a great selection of styles and finishes, so you're sure to find a look that's right for you. Save big money on Patriot Lighting ceiling fans. View all of our ceiling fans and other lighting options on Menards.com.
Save big money at Menards.
The local water experts at Culligan can take care of everything but the kitchen sink. Actually, we do that too. Culligan, here for every water worry.
I'm a little old to count down the days, but my ski trip to Cascade Mountain with my cousin each year, so much fun. We used to pretend like we were flying. Now, we really do. My My dad and my uncle like that we still ski free. But Noah and I, we just have fun. See you there.
At McGann Furniture and Flooring in Baraboo, we know that hardworking people want the most value for their money. At McGann's, we've already sorted out and selected the brands that we feel offer you the most bang for your buck. From young couples to senior citizens, we offer a huge selection at prices that will fit your budget. And remember, at McGann's, we don't raise prices only to lower them later for a sale. Discover the difference at McGann Furniture and Flooring, downtown Baraboo.
A local brewery celebrates 10 years of success, and you're invited to the party. Tomorrow we'll find out what's on tap.
Plus, don't miss your last chance to win Restaurant Week bucks.
And we've got some colder weather on the way to close out the work week. Join us tomorrow between 4:30 and 7.
Dean Ingram is no longer a Badger. The former receiver, cornerback, and return man announced he's entering the transfer portal. Last season, he caught 13 passes for 152 yards. The year before that, on defense, he racked up 20 tackles and a pick. Ingram has 2 years of eligibility remaining. Better news, C.J. Getz is returning for a 6th season. The senior outside linebacker finished 3rd on the team in tackles, tallying 61 last season, including 2 sacks and 8 TFLs. Getz has played in 44 games, starting 14 during his time at Wisconsin. Bree Murphy is in her first year leading the Monona Grove girls basketball team, and when asked to describe her, the first thing the Silver Eagles said, she cares about us as people more than basketball players. And that answer comes from Murphy's "Proud of You" reminder.
High hand, high hand, high hand.
Bree Murphy might be the head coach at Monona Grove.
She's always there to pump us up.
But she's also the team's biggest cheerleader.
I'm going to cheer for them. I'm going to bring that fire for them. I'm going to be the most intense one out there because they need to know that what they're doing matters.
And she's building her program's culture
Close out.
by building the Silver Eagles up.
The 2 things a kid wants to hear most after a game is "I'm proud of you" and "I like to watch you play." So we kind of took that and we ran with it, and we really made an emphasis to tell the kids we're proud of them.
A phrase Murphy and her staff say all the time.
She just wants us to know that we are appreciated no matter what, through good things, through bad things.
Even if you're having a bad game, they say it to you. Good game, they say it to you. Yeah, I think it really just helps everyone feel a little more confident.
Proud of you is working on the court, but those 3 words
Better, Lauren, yes!
are having a bigger impact away from the game.
There's a lot of mental health things going on with kids, teams, and having like your coach there as one of your trusted adults is really important, and then having them there as someone that is there for you, and they show that consistently by saying "proud of you" is something that saying's done. You need to be proud of yourself. You need to be confident in yourself and everything that you do, and proud of others and proud of what they do, and just acknowledging the good that people do. Good D, there it is, switch.
You entering the transfer portal anytime soon?
You have to talk to the people down the hall. Okay. Maybe they want me in the transfer portal. Let's go to Gary.
What's the transfer portal?
We're on our way out.
It depends on the forecast, I'm sure. We'll get a couple of flurries out there, but really not very much. You can see on high-resolution radar just a few light flurries. Future track radar doesn't show much, so don't expect much going on tonight.
All right, Gary, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.